Hello. So I wanted to do a kind of tutorial. I'm not an expert, but I have done a lot of shades, like different shades and blending. And there was a woman at the Bingo of Shame group that asked about how to blend two specific colors, and I just happened to have exactly the palette she used. So I'm going to try and show instead of the small explanation I did in the group. So she did this shade and this shade, and then she wanted to blend those two. She ended up not blending them. She said she tried the first time but removed it. So I wanted to try because those colors should blend because they aren't opposite colors, so they won't turn muddy. And both are kind of warm, not too warm but like neutral, so they should blend pretty well. First I'm just gonna do primer, Milani, Stay Put eyeshadow primer. I'm just gonna do it on this side, or maybe this side because that's my favorite. No, I'm doing this side. So I'm just doing primer, not too much, but enough to where it's kind of sticky, not sticky. I don't like when it grips too much, just because it's harder to blend on. Please don't mind my hair. I haven't been able to shave it for a long time because my mother, who is shaving it, has she hasn't broken her finger, but the other thing, when it's almost broken, I don't remember what it's called in English, sorry. So she hasn't been able to do it for a very long time. My favorite brush is M07 from Morphe. I don't think they sell them anymore. I tried looking, but maybe it's only in Norway they don't sell it. I'm going to use two different brushes, just because that makes it easier to not mix the two too much. Just blend them together right where they meet. So she did. I'm just having this mirror. So I'm just applying it. Very pigmented at the lid, and then I'm going to start to blend it out. That is about taste though, so if you want more unblended, then that is cool too. It's more about me liking to have it blended. I often use a shade more just because it makes it easier. So I'm gonna do this shade here. It's called Equinox. It just makes it a bit easier to blend it into skin tone. Then I'm using this brush. It's still a blending brush, but it's smaller just so it can fit easier in the inner crease. And then I'm going to use Windy. Right now I'm just packing it on, like dabbing it in the pan, and then right here just dabbing it on. Not too much right where they meet, just a tiny bit. We'll tackle that afterwards. And then I take it and rub it off a bit, just to get it more clean. And then I'm doing the edges. I would have used lighter shades, but I think the shades they have in this palette will change the color. They either has the pink or a very gray tone. So I think it will lighten the color or change the tone of it. And then you see here, if you want to keep the green, then you use this brush and you take a tiny bit of green on it and then just dab, like that's how I do it. Not swirl, but dab. I also do a little bit of this, but I do it in very small motions, just so it doesn't take over suddenly. You can see it's starting to blend here. And if you feel like this tone, this green is taking a bit more over than you want, then you can take the other brush and do like this. Then you can see it going a bit more over to the other side. But since I want the most green, I'm using this one. If you feel like it stops moving, then you can dab a bit more into the green or the purple-ish brown if you want that color, but just dab a bit because it makes it move more again. Notice how I did this? It helps very much when it comes to blending. You can tell that it's like kind of muddy right there, but that's because the purple is so brown toned. So it will look a tiny bit muddy, but it will still blend. So you can do it as much as you want until you're satisfied. I did a mistake there. I shouldn't have gone out there, because when you do that, you will take the muddiness from here and out there. That is one mistake I'm very prone to making. Because I feel like I suddenly want to blend here too, but then it's kind of muddy from the other color. So there you go. I think when you feel like you can't tell where the green stopped, because you see the green tone there too. But then again, you know where it stops because it still looks purple or the brown. That's when I feel like it's enough for me. The only thing I don't like right now is because you can tell right there is where the purple stops. But I'm very critical when it comes to my own blending, but 90% of the times I don't mind. It's more like things I see afterwards, like when I'm posting the look or when I go through to see the photos like days after. But I think I'm happy about that. She also used crisp on the inner lid, so I think I'm going to do that, but I like to have matte underneath it. So I'm going to do Susurius. I've never heard that word before. That one. I'm just gonna do that one underneath. And like now, you saw that I went a bit too high. Then I just take the same brush I used on the inner corner and just But that's the problem. Now you see, it doesn't look that much blended yet. Still, I mean. So sometimes when you mess up and have to add more color, you have to blend a bit more. So again, it depends on how much blended you want it, but it also depends on how much time you got. Because I could probably sit and blend forever. She used crisp on her eyes. I think I want to do yellow on the inner corner then. Yes. I'm doing it a bit different than her. Just cause, yeah, I love like those pops of colors. So I'm just doing like a pencil brush, I think it's called. Morphe M321. So I'm taking the matte yellow and just in the corner. And then rubbing it. I would say or recommend to do it on a paper towel, but I'm stupid and doing it on my bed. I told my mom not to get me some white bed sheets, but she said that it was the best color for the other bedding, like pillowcase and such. Not a good idea. It's only eyeshadow though, so it will most likely get washed off afterwards, hopefully. I want to do either blue or a purple on the other side. I always say either, and then I do both. I think I want to do both. So I'm gonna do the same color I used on my lid because that's the most blue toned look. My blue toned eyeshadow. It's like a gray, just as a base for the blue. And then I'm going to use the purple, the windy. It looks purple in the pan, but on me it turns like, you see, really, really brown. I think maybe if I add some pink, I can test that out. Maybe if you add the pink. Top. Yeah. You see how it looks more like a muted purple now? Or maybe it turned a bit much pink, but yeah. I like that color much more. But I'm not a fan of browns. Then I'm going to use glitter glue, NYX glitter glue. That's the one I'm the most happy with. I have tried 2 or 3 others, but yeah, NYX is the best for me, at least. So in the inner corner, I usually like to do with a brush, just because I have more control that way. I don't need much. I actually try and do with the brush all over, just because I don't like to use my fingers unless it's only for shimmers. Because shimmers, I would rather have the impact of a great shimmer, because when you use your fingers it will be more impactful. But when it comes to the glitter glue, I hate the stickiness feeling on my fingers. Probably the autistic person in me. So now that I have that, I'm going to do autumn. I can show first. I'm planning on doing this one in the inner corner, like here with the yellow. This one in the inner under eye, right here. This one in the outer under eye to deepen it but still have it sparkly. And then I'm going to use crisp on the inner lid, but then this is the part. I'm going to use harvest or this one transcend just on the outer here, because when you do that it's very much easier to blend shimmers than it is to blend mattes. Like you saw, I had to use a lot of time, and I still don't think it's perfect, but I'm critical of myself. So I'm doing crisp just with a brush. The hack or tips to do with the brush is to still have a bit of the glitter glue on the outer side. Like, my brush isn't fluffy at all. It's not fluffy, it's kind of just, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. So I just dip it into this, and then I do like this, just to get it coated. It makes it easier to pick up the shadows, just so I can get it more precise on the inner corner. So there, and then I, again, on my bed, just rub it off a bit, take a bit more glitter glue on it, and then I do the next shade, which will be the yellow one. I try and do the lighter shades first. Sometimes I forget, but I try to do that just because if some light sparkles gets into the dark shades, it doesn't show much. But if dark sparkles get into the light shades, it looks very bad, I think. It doesn't look bad, you can see it much more. And then rub it off on the bed. And then I'm going to do the change, the blue one, which seems to be a duochrome to purple actually. Oh, I like that shade. I have played with all the shades before. I have done I have done that with all my Oden's Eye palettes to do what it's called, a review. So I do 2 looks where I use all the shades, not all the shades in one look, but all the shades divided onto different looks. It's just to get a feeling of all the shades before I say my opinion on it. I have forgotten to post those though. So, ADHD brain. Then you have... I'm going to try and do Harvest first because that's a bit lighter green. Yeah, I think I like that. It is a duochrome, which is why I was a bit skeptical of it. But it seems to turn very green on my eyes, so I like it for this look. And then I'm going to do the purple one, Spice Tea, just on the inner, my outer under eye. This is why I like these brushes so much. It's very cheap brushes. I bought them in a set just on like a cheap website like AliExpress. I don't remember if it was AliExpress or Wish, but yeah, like it was years ago. Probably when I started sometime, like 10 years ago. A lot of time. You can see how I left this space. It's just because I want the shimmer to be very impactful there. So I'm going to use my finger and then I'm dab, dab, dab. Oh, I like that. And then I'm going to take Harvest also on the another finger, just so I can blend the shades a bit more together. So dabbing. I always like to put it a bit more up. The most shimmers on the lid, but a bit more up, like just dabbing. Just because I love sparkles. And then I'm going to do like rub it a bit. Just not rough, because my eyes are very sensitive. Most eyes are. But it helps blend them very much. And then I feel like I lost the green a bit, so I take a bit more green. And then I do like this. And then blend, blend, blend. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see if it's blended 100%, but I like it. I went like until I was 22. Every doctor have said I have perfect vision, but I always had headaches. But surprise, going to a eye doctor. They can't actually tell you if you have good eyesight. You have to go to a glasses place like ophthalmology, optiker is Norwegian. I don't know if that's it in English though. So here we go. I'm just blending the yellow a bit into the shades. And then a tiny bit here. And that's done. I will do some mascara and such and come back, but I think I will do another eye here because I haven't made a video in a long time. But I think I don't know how I will do the YouTube thing yet. I was thinking maybe I should post it in 2 different ones, but then again it would be a spoiler. I don't know. I have to ask in the group. They seem to have very good suggestions. So this is it. You can always blend more if you want that, but that's the technique. I like this look very much. So here is the finished look. So like you can see here, you can see it's blended, but still it loses a bit of blendedness right when I'm doing the concealer and such. This one is more me because I like the concealer a bit down, because if not my eyes look very close together. But this one still looks very blended. I really like them. The autumn palette from Oden's Eye, I have already tried. I don't like the matte that much, but that's more the tones of it. I'm not very neutral, and I don't like very much those muddy greens. Although I think it looked good on me, it doesn't spark any joy. Hence the blue mascara. Just to get some bit of joy in it. I want to get more into YouTube. I'm hoping that I can, now that I have decided to not do the full editing. My previous videos I was sitting maybe 2-3 hours just sitting and getting out those or those pauses where I'm just not talking. But like the pause right there, like that, those pauses I sat and took out every single one and it was so tedious and it kind of burnt me out. So I'm thinking I will just edit it a tiny bit, not too much, so just like putting the videos I have filmed separately together. But hopefully this means that I can get more into YouTube, because I really want to, and I love watching YouTube myself, so hopefully. If you watch this, thank you. I really appreciate it. Hopefully it helped. And if you have anything you want to learn or something like that, just let me know. I do a lot of colorful makeup. I started getting into more eyeliners and such too. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. Bye.